What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. It's a beautiful day out today, and I am here to share with you my Friday reflection. As I mentioned to all of you, I am going live as often as possible. And so in today's Friday reflection, I'm going to share a little bit about that. I'm also going to share some of my wins, some of my struggles, some of the challenges, and how I might coach myself if I were my own client. If you want to become a coaching client of mine, you can just go to my website and check out how to do that. You can just book some time with me and we can talk about it. And before I jump into this live, before I jump into the training here, just want to share with all of you that we have our wonderful mastermind community, our Take Action community, and we are kicking off the school year, the new school year here on September 10th at 11 a.m. via Zoom. It's 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time via Zoom. Get your tickets on Eventbrite. Let's jump into this. Today has been an incredible week for me. I have so many wins to share, and I want to hear your wins too. So feel free to drop them in the comments below. DM me, text me, however you want to go ahead and do it. But I have 3 wins that I'm going to share with you today. The first one is a consistent work ethic. This is a big win for me. Part of the reason why this is a big win for me is just a knowledge of being consistent. And so my coach Merritt and we talk about this all the time of creating task lists and CRMs and Monday.com and all the different things that are out there and trying to find a way for me to keep track of everything I'm doing. And they don't always work for me. I'm going to be honest. A lot of times the best thing that works for me is just a paper and a pen and creating a list. And anyway, in working through so many different things and conversations and really reflecting on this week, I recognize that I've actually been consistently working at several things. The first thing that I've been consistently working at is my book. I've been putting time in, and right away, my inner critic goes, "Not enough time, Michael." Well, that's what happens. We have our inner critics, right? But I have been putting time in to work on my book and write the pages, write the stories, reflect on what I've already written and rewrite it and rework it in order for it to just be better. Part of what I've done is I started reaching out to other authors and publishers and editors and having conversations with people in my network about my book. And what that's done for me is it's made me realize that this book is important to me, not just because it's my first book, but also because I people who I look up to, people who look up to me, people who I work with, people who work with me are going to be reading this book. And so I want it to be something I'm proud of. So I'm spending a lot of time in it, and it might just take longer to publish than I had hoped for, but that's okay. The other thing I've been spending time in is exercising. I'm wearing a tank top today for a reason. Show off these guns. No, I'm just kidding. But I am wearing this tank top for a reason. And part of the reason is that I've been exercising a lot. And what I've been doing is I've gone on long bike rides with coaching clients. I've gone on really long walks with my coach. I've gone and done gym workouts with other coaching clients. And so I share all of this with you because the dream's happening. I've been exercising and working at the same time. And that's why I'm wearing this today, because part of who I've been trying to attract into my network and into my circle of influence and as part of my coaching clients are people who are athletic, people who care about their health, people who want to get outside and walk and run and ride their bikes and kayak and hike, and people who want to work out in a gym and exercise and lift weights and play basketball and do other things inside as well. And so it's been happening and it's really cool. And so this is a reminder of that. And so I wanted to share that with you. The other thing that has happened that's been really great is, as I just said, circle of influence is my circle of influence has increased. So as I started putting out there that I'm working on my book, as I started putting out there that I'm writing more in my book, people have been showing up for me. I was introduced to, this is a really cool one. I was introduced to somebody in Denmark who is helping me with some marketing, who then introduced me to somebody in Ohio, which that person in Ohio introduced me to somebody else in Ohio, who then was started to help me with my book. And he introduced me to someone in Pittsburgh, and this is where it gets really cool. And the person in Pittsburgh and I spoke for about an hour, and we realized that we both had a mutual friend right here in Dutchess County, New York. So it's really wild how the world works. But just all those connections right there, just so you're aware, those are part of my new circle of influence. Those are all new people that came in the last month or so that are helping me with marketing, helping me with business, and helping me with my book. So this is just really incredible. And also some incredible partners that I can't share right now, but that have really come through and have expanded the work that we're doing together. So just really cool win right there in terms of my circle of influence. And then booking more work. That's the thing right here, right? Best coach ever. I got this from being a basketball coach, but also I coach entrepreneurs and business owners. And also I do workshops, and I just booked some more workshops for this year, and next year I booked some more coaching clients. So this is just a huge win to start having and building more into my business. And my coach and I were sitting the other day and we're talking about my business and how many times I've pivoted and changed and kind of rebuilt everything. And the truth is, I'm only like 8 months into the rebuild of what Michael Esposito Inc. is. And honestly, I think it's going to be going through some more changes pretty soon. And I don't mean it as in changes as like most businesses just normally evolve and change. I really mean that there's some pivots coming that I'm aware of. And so it's really cool. It's a really interesting time in the business. So these are some great wins. Now, with the wins come some things that I've struggled with. And here's some struggle. I'll say that, consistency is a win. It's also something I'm working on. Um, I'm just going to my notes here for today, and I'm looking at it, and it says, I struggle with time management. So as I just said, consistency is a win, but time management is a struggle. So what do I mean by that? Well, it's hard to be consistent if you're not managing your time appropriately. And so that is something that I've been working through. So this is the coaching part for all of you. This is how I'm going to coach myself through this. So I want to be consistent. I want to accomplish all these goals of writing my book, of reading my books, of my lives, of training, of learning, of growing, of exercise, of coaching, of working. I want to do all of these things. And if I'm not good at time management, then I'm not going to be able to accomplish my goals within all of these things. So I needed to sit back for a moment, reflect on it, and figure out how would I coach someone if they said to me, hey, Michael, I want to accomplish all of these goals, but I struggle with time management. And what I would share, and what I'm going to share with all of you today, is the first thing we need to do, and I do this for myself, and so I'm kind of talking to me here, is focus on what's important. What's important, not just for the long term, but what's important right now. What's happening in this present moment that is important. And I want to make sure that we are making a distinction between urgent and important. I have my little urgent and important post-it note there. I'll grab it for you because I've already distracted you from the video by trying to grab it, but I have my urgent, I have my quadrants here. We have our important and urgent. We have our urgent, not important. We have our important, not urgent, and then we have our not urgent, not important. So this is one of the best ways to identify the important areas to focus on. This is one of the best ways to do it. A friend of mine gave this to me many years ago, and it's something that I kind of use, but don't always use. So here's something, if I'm coaching you or if I'm coaching myself here with what I just said, I kind of use, but don't always use. I struggle with time management. This is a great solution for time management. Why don't you start using it, right? And something that when we talk about this, when we talk about, well, I used to use it, it didn't work for me, I'm not sure how it works, is how much time did you commit to using it? Like, I know the reality of how much time I've committed to using that, and it's not a lot, right? So think about when you find a new way to do something or are being taught something new, how much time are you really committing to doing it? So commit yourself to it. So figure out what is important right now and how does it impact the future? So in terms of my book, that's important right now because I want to write it right now and I can see how it will impact my future, and it's important in the future as well. So this is a driving force. It also impacts everything I do. So my book is really, really important now and in the future. So now the next step to all of this is I need to block time for it. So I need to look at my day, I need to look at my week, and I need to figure out what's the right time for this? What is the right time to do this kind of work? When blocking time, for me, I have to do it in a way that is free but has guardrails. Let me explain. We can block time to where we say on Mondays at 10 a.m., from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., I will be writing my book. On Wednesdays from 10 to 11, I'll write my book. And on Fridays, I'll write my book from 10 to 11. That's a block time. And that might work for you. What I've learned is it doesn't work for me. So what I've had to do is figure out, I want to write my book. I want to work on my book about 3 hours, 6 hours max per week. And so for me, I have to look at my days and just say, okay, where can I fit that in today? Where do I see it fitting? And kind of position it, okay, at that time today, I'm going to do it. And if I get close to the end of the week and I haven't done it, then I got to start cramming it in there somehow. It would be easier if I could just block the time off. So trust me, if you can block the time and do it, it's so much easier. But that hasn't worked for me. And I have been doing it for a long time. I have tried this for a long time. My coach and I have worked on this a lot, and it just didn't work for me. So I figured out how to do it, and I've been doing it, and that's why that was a win for me. That I've been consistently working in those areas. So that's why it's a big win. And then the last piece here, the third one for all of you today, is to just focus on one thing. So for me, if it's just the book, if the book is the only thing I care about getting out right now, then that's the only thing I'm focused on. And as you can tell in this video here, is that it really is the only thing I'm focused on right now is the book. That's the only thing I'm focused on right now. Everything else, it'll kind of play out, and that's great if it plays out. If my lives are consistent, and if my coaching clients are consistent, and if all of the other things are consistent, that's great. But right now, the one focus is my book. So pick that one focus and focus on that thing. If you could do it on a daily habit, that's great. A weekly, a monthly, an annual, whatever it is that works for you, pick that one thing that's important that's going to help you. Here's something I want to share with all of you about what I've learned about myself. So in all of this, I talked about my wins. I talked about one of my weaknesses. And I also am going to address something that I'm sure all of you can relate to, our blind spots. So a little bit different than weakness. So weakness, what I just mentioned here of like what my weakness is in terms of my time management is I'm aware of it, I'm working on it and all that. But then there's other things that happen that are blind spots. They're like, I don't know where this came from. I thought I solved this. I thought I fixed this, and I didn't. And it has to do with stepping out of my values. So here's the story. I decided one project for the day. I was smart about this. So early in the week, I want to say it was Tuesday, early in the week, I decided the one thing I need to accomplish today is I have to make a phone call to the IRS. I have a couple different businesses. I have some tax questions that my accountants didn't really solve for me. And so I need to do it myself. My accountants are out of the loop on this. I need to call them myself. So I decided I am calling the IRS today. I'm working on this today. That's it. And I'm glad I did that because I spent 2 hours on hold. And while I was on hold, I also was trying to figure out how to work their online portal. So I was on the IRS website trying to figure out their online portal. Things kept not working well, if you could only imagine how a government site works. And so I'm 2 hours on the phone waiting. I'm dealing with frustration from the internet. I finally get a representative. I explain to him what I need to learn about and to understand. And he tells me I'm going to need to transfer you. Now, if any of you, which I know you have, sat on hold for over an hour, when you hear the word transfer, you are like, no, wait, please, you must help me. You must be able to help me. So I said, no, don't transfer me. Don't transfer me. I've been waiting on hold for 2 hours. Let me just see if there's anything else you can maybe answer for me before we have to go there. Let's make that the last resort. And I'm going to be honest, he was just very robotic. One of the things he asked me about three different questions before I jumped on, like, is it this, or that, right? And I tried to joke with him and I said, all of the above, ha ha ha. No laughter, no nothing, just what is it that you need? And I was trying to explain it to him. He goes, that doesn't pertain to us. That doesn't pertain to this. And he was so robotic. And, you know, I was very frustrated between waiting for so long. I was frustrated with my past accountants because they honestly just dropped the ball. And I was frustrated that, there's a lot of money at play here of what I was supposed to get back in my refund, what they've taken out, what they're telling me I have to pay as fees. Like there's a lot of money at stake here. And so I was really just overwhelmed with emotions, and I started losing my composure, and I started getting frustrated, and I started feeling that come up. I started feeling it, and I recognized it, and I knew it was happening, and I know better. And I was on the verge of stepping out of my values, and I tried to do something that I would suggest to all of you, which is start asking some questions to try to just get out of this space or take a moment to breathe. And I didn't breathe. I didn't take that moment to breathe. But what I did was I tried to humanize the call. So I said, "May I ask you where are you located? Where are you from? Where are you sitting right now?" And he said, "That doesn't pertain to anything." And he got upset with me. And I was like, "I'm just trying to humanize the call, man, because I feel my anxiety levels rising." And I said that to him. And he still was so robotic and so just not empathetic to what was happening. And I stepped out of my values and I was rude to him. And I carried that for the rest of the day. He ended up terminating the call that I had waited for over 2 hours for. He terminated the call, and I deserved it because I was rude to him. I was rude to him. I wasn't polite. I wasn't nice. I didn't live within my values of integrity, of being kind to another human being. And so he ended the call, and I wasn't upset with him because I deserved it. So I reflected on that for the rest of the day, and I decided, and I journaled on it, and I wrote it down, and I said, I will never, ever be rude to another human being, no matter what. And I share this with you because here's what I learned about that moment is that everybody has a value system that they live by. I have a value system that I live by. You have a value system that you live by. And that gentleman has a value system that he lives by. And if we can discover what the other person's value system is, we'll understand them better. We may not agree with them. We may not like what they're saying, but we will understand them better. And if I were to make an assumption as to what his value system was in that moment, his values are, this is what I could only imagine. I waited on hold for 2 hours. His values are, I need to get through X amount of calls as quickly as possible. I need to serve each person as best as I can to my capabilities. And if I can't, I need to pass that on to someone else. His values are to move through his day very quickly and very strategically. That is what I would assume his values are. And my values, I came in, were very different, where I came in with an expectation of wanting to spend time with him, of wanting to understand things and unravel things and talk things through. And he couldn't do that. And that's understandable from his side. And I couldn't be robotic. And I think that's understandable from my side. It still doesn't excuse the behavior of being rude to him. But what it helped me understand is that everybody has their value system. And if we can understand what they are, we can better understand them. And then we can maybe get what we need. If I would have recognized that he has a systematic value system, then I should have came, or I could have came with my problems in a systematic way that he could have boom, 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 answered, boom, 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 solved perhaps for me. But because I didn't do that, it didn't work out. And so I made a commitment that I will never, no matter what, be rude to another human being. And I'm sharing that with you right now. I know you're watching. So I'm sharing that with you right now. It's never going to happen again. There's no excuse. There's no excuse because it's my values. And I have to live within my values. Someone else can choose to live outside of theirs, but I can't choose to live without my values or outside of my values. So here's one decision that we can all make going into next week as I finalize this video for you today. There's one thing, one takeaway that I want you to take into next week, and it is to focus. It's to focus in on what it is that you want. To be a better person, to live within your values, to accomplish your goals, to do the things that are important to you now and later, to meet new people who can help work towards your goals with you. Whatever they are, focus on that in this upcoming week. Focus on being present with the people around you going into the weekend. Focus on the people you love. Focus on the people who you haven't met yet. And the gentleman working at the IRS, if you're listening and watching this right now, which I know you're not, but just in case you are, I am truly sorry from the bottom of my heart that I was rude to you. I really am. Sorry about that. Now, on another note, everyone, we have a wonderful community called our Take Action Community. We meet once a month, and in those monthly meetings, we do a training or a framework, some sort of workshop type of thing that we come in with, whether it's on communication, whether it's on public speaking or marketing or other ways of helping you improve your business and improve as a leader and grow in your community. So if you want to join us, just jump on Eventbrite. You can join us for our Wednesday, September 10th meeting at 11 a.m. via Zoom. We meet the second Wednesday of every month. We do this consistently, bring in experts, bring in amazing people, and we have a great group who have always helped each other. So go to Eventbrite, get your tickets. It's free to just jump on the Zoom with us. I want to thank you so much for watching this live today. As always, go out and enjoy your weekend. Stay happy and stay healthy, and I'll see you next week. Bye, everyone.